In March, Malaysia was falling. Newspaper published article about how Malaysia struggling against COVID-19.
With the regulatory measure announced by Bank Negara Malaysia and statement issued by MASB and IFRS. In response to the recent development of COVID-19, we explore its impact on financial institutions in Malaysia in terms of loan growth, earnings, provision, and liquidity. How can financial institutions prepare to weather the inevitable economic slowdown? First, adjust the parameters to incorporate and consider the short-term economic outlook. Staging criteria. To consider qualitative criteria in assessing significant increase in credit risk. Although the movement control orders impact differ across industry, the effect may be similar of certain groups of business in the same industry. Next, probability wider outcome. The COVID-19 outbreak is not a result of the finance system weakness, and the impact may represent a temporary shock to the economy. Should significant granular data be available? First, may consider the following. Heavily affected industry borrowers may have heavier weightage on the bad scenario of longer periods. For example, 2 to 3 years for tourism. Industry expected to rebound quickly may be heavier weightage on the bad scenario in the short term. For example, 1 year for hypermarkets. Number 2. Optimize the RWA and provision calculation process to be more effective. What to look out there during a crisis? Focus on the payment behavior of customer. Deep dive into customer profile who opt out for moratorium to be calibrated to current models. Then, timely reminder and notification for customer to pay off post-moratorium to minimize movement of customer. From stage 1 to stage 2, offer R&R to customer who are having difficulties before turning to non-performing. Ensure timely recovery for non-performing customers to optimize the LGD calculation for subsequent months ECL calculation. Number 3. Respond to customer early by leveraging on early warning signal. Financial, customer credit worthiness, governance, controller tracking. Industry, the mutual continuous decrease in operational margin across industry, inability to perennial emerging markets. Behavioral, customer sound and timely financial reporting customer payment behavior. Perception, multiple negative news story published, consistently declining in company stock price in stock exchange. Number 4. Prepare a more robust business continuity plan with more recovery options if similar crises were to occur in the future. Scenario analysis. Now, it is experienced the final institution will need to take a step back and reconsider the definition of worst-case scenario, as this virus will undoubtedly set as much higher bar. Recovery indicators. That's whole of recovery indicators that have been set on earth as early warning signal of oncoming crisis. We'll need to recalibrate to recognize Bank Negara Malaysia release measurement on banks. Communication plan. Communication plans to emphasize the need for speedy response and better planning to invigorate the internal and external communication needs when thrown into encouraged water. Recovery option. The feasibility of a recovery option should be assessed in a three-pronged approach. Crises arising the pandemic itself, biological, the fear about pandemic psychological, and its business implications economy. As many of recovery options may not longer by feasibility on its execution prolonged.
Malaysian stock market plunged sharply over the past 11 years when it fell to 1,219.72 last Thursday, March 19, 2020. And we remain below 1,300 points until Monday, March 2nd, 2020. One-third of companies' 324 counters listed on Bursa Malaysia had fallen in value by more than 70% at the end of February 2020. As long as COVID-19 outbreak has not been globally, the stock market is expected to continue to plummet. The increase in COVID-19 case for the next 2 to 3 months will see stock movement become unsettled on a daily basis. The national stock market is strongly influenced by the NYSE stock markets, where a severe fall in the value of the NYSE stock has a significant impact on the local stock markets. The economic downturn this time is 3 times worse than the previous cycle. It was affected by the COVID-19 epidemic, the continued decline in oil price, and the directive of the movement control order by the government almost paralyzed the domestic economy. With investment statement continue to be pessimistic and negative, investors will only focus on training activities involving the healthcare sector. All Malaysians need to unite in facing the two main challenges of the country, namely the economic downturn and the COVID-19 epidemic. Conclusion: Malaysia's response is bold, preemptive, and forgetful of the repercussions of the COVID-19 outbreak to the economy. Thank you.